Hey Monica, it's that time of year. I've got 10 minutes until the kids get out at half day from the last day of school. It's also, speaking of deadlines, Christmas Eve, and that means that Christmas standard shipping is done. If you wanted it to ship free standard, that was done at 4 p.m. yesterday, but you can still do express if you find something online, or you can go try to brave the mall. You can probably find a spot before 11 a.m., but after 11 a.m., it is a parking lot to get to the parking lot. Anyway, so that is like the season of everything happening and all the busyness, and that all seems to happen in a certain kind of mode, which it's fun, I think, once a year to turn on a mode and then to be able to turn it off later, to have that version of yourself emerge. I was just this week watching a interview with Tom Bilyeu, and I think his name was Todd Herman, just released a book about alter egos and how to access them in order to make strategic choices and changes in your life that you find yourself being blocked from making up until that point because it's not you, or you can't bring yourself to do it, or it doesn't feel right. If you access a different part of yourself, then you can make phenomenal, very quick changes in your life. And I was thinking about that, especially as life switches gears, we show up differently for those gears. And so for the Christmas season, we are very different people. I know I'm a very different person. I go shopping a lot, which is something I don't do the rest of the year. There's this very hunter-gatherer sense that comes out of me at the Christmas season, that you just want to hunt down and get the stuff and bring it back in. And Todd Herman, I think his name was, talked about all the different aspects, all the different ways that you can be you, that you have this sense of what it means to be authentic, that you're this kind of person and you have this definition for yourself, but that can really be limiting in a lot of ways. And a lot of that definition comes from outside yourself. It comes from culture or your parents or society. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the way that it has been inculcated into all those years. You can think outside that box. And as soon as you do, you start recognizing other pieces of you that you can put them on. You almost like pretending, but not really pretending, because it's coming from inside you. You're accessing pieces of yourself. Tom and he had this almost disagreement about he didn't like the word authentic. And Tom said, well, authentic is very important to me. And Tom, being an ISTP, that's really important. But he said, no. It's a word that's tricky because some people get stuck on what they think is authentic to themselves, and they limit themselves. But you have your whole gambit of personality available to you. That is what's amazing, is that once you pull back all the barriers to your own self-limitations, you can be and do anything and still really be 100% yourself. He talked about how when we were under the age of 7, we used to pretend that we were Superman or Batman, and we would try on those personas, and then we would go around as if we were those things, a pretense, a pretending, but at the same way trying it on. And we can do that now as adults. We can re-enter that phase of our development, and we can become something more, and we can become new things. And that was really exciting to me. So as this Christmas season, I'm thinking, what am I now? What role do I step into, and what persona do I take on in order to manage this different kind of season? And how do I step back out of it when it's done, and just be more conscious of that? So I'm wondering, especially, you've talked a lot about having the committee in your head. Do you step into the persona of different members of that committee at different points in your life? And how conscious are you of that process? And how purposeful are you in accessing and channeling the various superheroes that you have inside your head? I'd love to hear about it. Talk to you next week.